We're going to give our Milwaukee Brewers 26-man roster prediction for opening day. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to start naming names. I'm going to go through my list of like 1 through 26. Stop me when you hear somebody that isn't a lock on your list.
Okay.
Christian Yelich, Jackson Chourio, Garrett Mitchell, Sal Frelick, Mark Canha, Joey Ortiz, Bryce Terang, Rhys Hoskins, William Contreras, Eric Haas, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, Jose Quintana, Aaron Savali, Tobias Myers, Aaron Ashby, Brian Hudson. I almost forgot his first name. Yep. Trevor McGill, Yoel Payamps, Elvis Peguero, Nick Mears, Jared Koenig, and then I have Caleb Durbin, Vinny Capra, and then 2 of the 3 of Tyler Black, Jake Bauers, and Andrew Monasterio.
So I do not have Elvis Peguero as a lock. He's on my bubble watch, and I also have Caleb Durbin on my bubble watch, like you do as well. So that'll be interesting. I know that he's not going to make it this year because we're just kind of loaded at catcher, but I have Jefferson Carroll on kind of the bubble. He everything that he's graded on defense, he's graded very high. It's just the bat that has to catch up, but being around a guy like William Contreras, where they're kind of yin yang with each other, I think that would be a good match for him to be around him a little bit more. Thinking out loud here, I mean, outfielders nailed it, infielders nailed it. I do have we do have a difference in our 26-man roster in the infield.
And Vinny Capra is another guy who's showing off a ton of pop in his bat so far in spring training, so he's got a case to make. So as spring training continues to go, these are going to be these handful of guys to keep an eye on, which is kind of where we get back to the roster bubble. You already mentioned Jefferson Cuero, the Vinny Capra, Tyler Black, Jake Bauers, Andrew Monasterio, Caleb Durbin. Those guys are all going to be kind of on the bubble in that like 23rd to 30th men on the roster as far as those, if we're just talking numbers are concerned. Other guys like Connor Thomas, the Rule 5 selection, Davey Garcia, Tyler J, Tyler Alexander, those guys are all kind of minor league deals with invites to spring training kind of guys that are going to be on the roster bubble. You mentioned Elvis Peguero as a guy who could potentially be on the bubble. Abner Uribe is another guy we have to bring up as being on the bubble. And then obviously Andrew Monasterio in there as well. But that's where the Brewers are at the roster bubble. We'll have to see some of these guys that are working through injuries as well. Christian Yelich did make live appearances in the Brewers spring training game the other day. Brandon Woodruff is the other guy that we'll have to keep an eye on to see if he's going to be on the opening day roster. It sounds like he's trending in the right direction for it, but that'll be the last guy to keep an eye on.